looking to avoid their fourth straight defeat. Pochettino came out and has said that they're not realistic contenders in any of the competitions that they're in.
Well, good job they've sold all the season tickets then by now, because, I mean, you don't want to hear that if you're a Spurs fan. And why would you come out and say that? I mean, this guy's... You talk about...
Is it not true, though?
That's not the point. It's not the point. So... If you want managers, if you want all these Premier League managers to come out and say, oh, by the way, we've got absolutely no chance of winning the Premier League. We've got no chance, if we're in the Europa League, we've got no chance of winning that. We've got no chance of winning the Champions League if we're in that. But you know what, we'll try our best and we'll have a go at it. Do you think fans want to hear that? Certainly fans of the so-called elite top clubs do not want to hear that. They pitch up the first day of every season thinking, maybe we're going to win the title this year. That's what they think. And you don't want to listen to your manager after, what, 5 games? Saying, well, we're not going to win the league. I mean, really, come on.
I don't think they'll win the league, but let's not forget they were in another... Sorry.
You okay?
Semi-final last... I was struggling to get that out. They were in the semi-final of the FA Cup again last year.
Yeah.
So there was a competition... I mean, I know it's last season, but there's a competition that they realistically could have won. And they didn't. Failed for their 8th semi-final in a row or something like that. He's a bit of an embattled manager at the moment. He's not under pressure for his job or anything like that. Of course not. That's just crazy. It's just that anybody suggesting something like that would be stupid. But what's happened here is he was kind of painted as, you know, this is going to be the next United coach, or this is going to be the next Real Madrid coach, and blah, blah, blah. And now, all of a sudden, it's almost turned a full circle in some people's eyes that, you know, well, he's actually not that good. So I think we're somewhere in the middle with Pochettino at the moment. Yeah. I think it's one of the few times in his time in charge at Spurs where, obviously with 3 defeats in a row up to this point, he's getting questions asked about him. They had a tough trip to play Inter in Milan. He's making all these changes, something that I've touched on the show, that I personally don't agree with. So I think from his perspective... 1, he needs to get his team back to winning ways, but 2, I think he needs to get some continuity within, certainly his back line, and start to get a base in which to build for, because we know going forward, we know Kane's we know he's going through a hard time, but he's going to get better again. We know Mora's looked really sharp at the start of the season. That's pretty much having a new signing. And we also know he's got good players if they get injuries, but I just think the fact that he's changing it as often as he has, I just think is not quite helping at the moment when he needs to start picking up points again.
Surely the players must be starting to wonder about this guy as well. He was talking about cows and trains last week, right? During the off-season, when they never signed anybody, he said he was happy with what he had. So he's happy that he's got a group of players that's not good enough to challenge for any of the top honours.
I think that was
he's not making any sense.
I think that was just a company line, though, from him, in terms of I'm happy with what he had. I think that was clearly he's not happy with what he had. He would always have wanted more, but I think he just played the Tottenham line and said, look, it is what it is, we're building a stadium and I'm not going to come out here and slaughter Daniel Levy before the season starts.
Think about the 3 statements. You talk about being completely and utterly miles away from each one.
I hear Gab Marcotti training to get in.
No, look, I think these are odd things to say, just as it was very odd when he came out and he said, oh, this is going to be, you know, Tottenham's most difficult season yet since I've been here, which again is a weird thing to say when you consider that, you know, United have a lot of issues, Arsenal and Chelsea are rebuilding and whatnot. You know, well, why should it be more difficult than other years? There's a reason, and it's frustrating for those of us in the media, why managers, when faced with difficult questions, they resort to manager speak and cliches. The thing you get asked, the thing you answer rather, when you get asked, you know, do you think you're realistic contenders, or what do you realistically think you can win this season? Is you just go into that manager cliche monotone and you say, well, you know, there may be teams that are better than us, but we believe we can fight for everything and we're going to give it our best shot and who knows and blah, blah, blah. And it's boring and it's silly and it's safe. The fact that he chose not to do that, I wonder if maybe he's trying to send out some kind of message. But the problem is when you sort of speak in riddles and parables, nobody can understand what that message is.